Hey, what's up, everyone out there? This is Dan at Evolving SEO, and I like how I always raise my eyebrows when I say that. This is Dan at Evolving. I don't know why I do that. Maybe I can try some different facial expressions as I hopefully get better with the videos. Anyways, I received a question via email just a few minutes ago by someone named Jeremy. Jeremy, thanks for emailing. And I'm just going to read the email and then answer the question. So he says, I recently started looking into SEO with no relevant experience whatsoever and then stumbling upon your videos, which have helped me tremendously. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm very glad to hear they've helped. For some bizarre reason, he says, I have taken massive interest in this and believe I should pursue it, which explains this random message. That's great to hear. I share the same feeling. I can remember to first discovering SEO and watching, of course, videos of Rand on Moz and seeing videos of Will Reynolds speaking at some of the early affiliate summit conferences. So I totally know what you mean. And then he continues with this question. As a complete beginner, a student apprentice, I wanted to ask you on what it takes to own an SEO business, and if you don't mind me asking on how you began, as well as experiences, qualifications, life stories, I would be completely interested in what you have to say. So yeah, I'd love to answer that, hopefully in a nice compact fashion. That's helpful. The first part is he says, how I began. So I'll tell a quick story. I'm sure as many SEOs can relate. I began actually making websites. One of the stories I can tell is I used to own a music lesson, a piano teaching business. When I first moved to this area of Massachusetts, I didn't know anybody. I moved here with my wife when we got married. I had no friends, no connections, nothing. So I relied entirely on the internet to build my music studio, which within a year or two was completely full. I was completely booked with students, and I attribute a lot of that to web marketing and to search engine optimization. I use things like Craigslist. I taught myself how to do HTML and CSS. I got myself listed on Google Maps. I did some local SEO. And through that experience of working for myself to basically promote my own business, that's one of several ways that I initially got involved in SEO, is just having to do it for myself, seeing the results that it had for my own business at that time, and then it just gradually was these incremental steps where I would take on another website that I would build. And I started pursuing doing only SEO for people once I realized that I loved arriving at that moment when you would install analytics on a website. You would start to see the traffic come in. You would see where it's coming from. And just that constant desire to keep increasing the traffic and keep increasing the business that you would get from that website. So that's essentially how it began. Experiences, qualifications. Let's talk about qualifications a little bit. I think SEO is a very interesting field because there is no degree, there is no exact qualification that you have to pursue doing SEO. My degree is in music performance. It's probably one of the most worthless degrees you could ever have. I could probably teach music. I could, if I had wanted to, apply to play in a symphony orchestra or something like that. But essentially, getting back to SEO, what I would say, there's more personality and kind of your inherent qualities is what will qualify you to do SEO. And one thing that I like about SEO, or think that is a little bit important, is kind of being whole-brained, being able to think with your creative, right-brained, kind of your holistic, non-linear side, and then being able to work on your left brain, your linear, kind of analytical, doing things step by step, executing on a plan, maybe reviewing a website. Those two brains I found have always kind of helped me do all of the tasks required in SEO. Because at one point you'll be, like I said, maybe analyzing data, and then you'll be trying to come up with content ideas for a specific client or strategy for a specific client. So I would say to anyone out there looking to develop qualifications for SEO, it would be to do things to work on your kind of your ability to think with both brains. And one specific thing that has greatly helped me is pursuing music, because music is very much a whole-brained activity. You could pursue something like art or painting within art. Anything that gets you to exercise both parts of your brain and try to connect those two together, I would say is a very important qualification. Also, what I found in the SEO industry is you need to have a lot of persistence, and I would state that as a second needed qualification. You need to have patience. You need to understand. And I'm not trying not to preach. I'm working on these things all the time, but you need to understand that the things that you do today, you're not going to see those results necessarily for 3, 4, 5, 6 months out. So it's that ability to kind of temper your actions with the results that you hope to see, and be able to not always want instant gratification with everything. So I think those, we could go on and on about that, but I think those are, two important qualifications. Let's see. So he's also asking specifically about an SEO business. So just pursuing SEO, you can get an in-house job, you could be a freelancer, but then pursuing SEO as an actual business, starting an SEO company, that has a whole other element to it that I want to talk about real quickly. And that is, you have to be willing to basically change. The name of my company is Evolving SEO. And that's a whole other story how I got to that name. But you basically need to be willing to change and adapt on a monthly or quarterly or yearly basis. And by adapt, I'm providing services that are in some cases dramatically different or improved upon or changed than I did 2 or 3 years ago when I was first doing SEO full time. So you need to be very, if you pursue being an accountant, I don't know much about accounting, but I'm going to assume that your day-to-day tasks, your services that you're going to provide, filing tax returns and so forth, those services are going to stay pretty much set throughout your career path or through your path of owning that business. As an SEO provider, your services that you're offering are constantly going to change if you're changing with the times, if you're keeping up and keeping modern to what's needed to achieve organic traffic. So that means if you're starting an SEO company in 2014, 2015, you're probably going to be focused on content. You're going to be focused on these holistic practices. You're going to be looking into the new things like Knowledge Graph, Schema.org, and Search Plus Your World, and some of these things that are out now. And you're going to be assisting clients with optimizing those areas of their online business. But who knows what's down the line 2015, 2016. Maybe we're going to be talking about more App Store optimization. Or I just tweeted just now that Twitter is going to be improving their search algorithm. So maybe there's an element of Twitter search or social search. We've got Facebook Open Graph search. So the services that you provide are going to be changing. Think about the ripple effect that that's going to have in your business. These are new documents, new templates, potentially new types of employees that you're going to need, new knowledge that you're going to need to set aside time every week or every month to learn about these new things that are coming out. And I would add that to another qualification as an SEO expert. That came out a little wrong. I'm not calling myself an expert. Other people have called me that. I always think I'm kind of having that beginner's mind, and that's kind of the point of this tip here, is that in SEO you are constantly learning, and you have to be constantly willing to learn the new things that are coming out all of the time. And that's one thing that I love about it. I love all the new things that you have to learn. I consider myself to be, in some regards, a fast learner, so it's something that keeps me engaged and keeps me interested. And if that's something that fits with your personality, then I'd say again, it's a good sign that you're a match for taking on SEO. So we could chat on and on about that. There's a lot of other elements to it. I hope those few things, just from my perspective, help kind of, give you some knowledge, like, being a few years ahead. The last thing I would say is I've been working with a mentor for, I don't know, the last 6 months or so. Sujan Patel he was the founder of Single Grain. They're a web marketing agency. And, your mentor doesn't have to be somebody in the SEO field, but it's been great working with someone that has not only knowledge about SEO, but business knowledge, entrepreneurial knowledge, somebody that's made mistakes. They can kind of see the path ahead, and somebody to just help guide you a little bit. So that's the last tip I would give you or anybody in an entrepreneurial situation, is to work with people that have kind of been where you are right now and can understand kind of the position that you're at and help guide you. So I hope that helps. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to email me, dan@evolvingseo.com. Drop me a line on Twitter. I've decided that I do get questions occasionally on email. I'm going to be doing a lot more of this, where I'm answering the questions in a video or maybe in a post to help a wider range of people. And the last thing is, Evolving SEO is looking for a full-time employee. So if you know anybody that might be interested, go to evolvingseo.com/careers, and you can find out more information about that position. So see you next time. Thanks. As I slowly find the pause button.